Good evenings people of the Cape Plus, mense van die Kaapse vlak. Hoop het gaan goed saam met julle. So, besige weekend gewees die weekend. And I'm sorry for the people that couldn't run yesterday. But I believe it was for your safety. Many people will disagree. But I looked at the advert of Mavericks. They actually took advantage of this. They said that the wind stopped the people from running, but it didn't get them from going up. So well done, Mavericks. I think you guys got a lot of people yesterday to come and join you. But yeah, on a more serious note, on a more serious note, I've seen some of your questions in the chat, and I will look at it. So we've got the mayor in the studio, but we want to start with where we left off, and then we're going to go into the conversation. Mayor, welcome to Cape Flip Stories.
Thank you very much. Very nice to be back with you, Stan.
Pleasure. Thank you, Mayor. The last time we had the conversation, it was a bit of a tough conversation on the pools that was closed, and people were very upset earlier this year. People wanted to know, but why is the pools closed during the December holidays? And it was an issue that I raised with you. Has anything been done, Mayor? Can we expect open pools for December?
We've been working extremely hard on our pools, and you can expect open pools in December. Okay. In fact, before December, 28 of them, we've got 37 pools. 28 of them will be open before December. And then the last 9, we are working flat out to get those ready for early December to be open. So we will have all of our pools open this year. And that's actually the first time that's happened. When I became mayor, I think we had something like 16 or 18 that were open out of 37. Yeah. And we've just steadily worked on those pools, getting to them to the point where we can now finally open all of them. So that's a very, very nice moment, because I really want young kids to be able to have swimming pools to go to in the hot summer. It's very important.
Yeah, and I think, Mayor, that was the cry of the people earlier this year. If people go back to the video at the pool, so you kept your word.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah,
I definitely have, and I absolutely will. And I'll be there in early December, and we'll. You're welcome to join us. We'll have a good swim.
I can't swim, but I'll definitely join you.
Okay.
I'm just playing. Mayor, the question that we want to talk about, and I think for many people this is a serious topic, is the safety and security. Yeah. In Cape Town and on the Cape Flats. I want to ask you quickly, 700 plus feet boots has been placed, on the ground. Tell us more about that, and then I'll question you on as we go into that.
I'll get to the new offices in a second, but I just want to start with the community facilities. Okay. I truly believe that the two are linked. If there are nice places to play and safe places and encouraging places, positive public spaces, that will have a safety benefit over time as well. I really believe that. And so I hope that you've seen that we've been rolling out really beautiful community facilities from Bishop Lavis, Manenberg, Mandela Park, in Santa Kral, all over the city, brand new upgraded soccer facilities, turfs, and fixing pools, fixing courts, you name it. And I hope that has a benefit for safer communities over time. Now let's come to these 800 offices. Yes, we did. It's actually just, you said 700. It's actually just over 800 new offices. Massive investment. It's the biggest investment in the Metro Police and law enforcement in well over a decade. A huge increase in our deployment. And why are we doing this? Because, again, we do not have primary responsibility for crime in South Africa. That belongs to the SAPS constitutionally. But we also cannot watch the withdrawal of SAPS resources from our city over time and not do anything. We have to do something with what we have. Yeah. And so we always say it might not be possible to do everything we want, but we can do something. We went big this year with 800 new offices. It's a huge investment, huge financial investment by the city. And they are all now deployed as of last month, as you know. Yeah. And they're out there and already making a positive impact. I'm on the groups. I see the arrests coming through. I see the firearms pictures coming through. So they're doing good work.
The question that I ask you, so now we have the metro officers, right? 800. So we welcome that. Okay.
Thank you.
But the question that many people will have is that the education budget was touched in order to make that possible, safety and security.
Not ours. We don't have an education budget, remember.
So that comes from national government.
No. The city does not have a mandate in education.
Okay.
We don't do schools and teachers.
Okay.
So the city's officers, law enforcement and metro police, are funded entirely by the city, by the ratepayers of Cape Town. We don't get any funding from anywhere, not from national government, only from our city and our residents. What I think you're referring to is the LEAP officers are half funded by the Western Cape government, half funded by the city. And that is a significant amount, about R1 billion that we put into the LEAP program, which, as you know, is the focused deployment in gang hotspots. And that is half funded by the province. And so I've heard that, this point made that the province, the provincial government has an education mandate. And so they've had to figure out their budget for how to continue to fund LEAP. And so I think that's where that question comes in. But the point is, again, the alternative is simply to say, well, sorry, you must go knock on SAP's door. This has got nothing to do with us. We just don't feel like we can responsibly do that. And so we have to do something with what we have. And so we have mobilized these resources from the city, from the province, to make this investment and hopefully keep our city safer.
But the Metro Police officers that was trained, right, they went, I believe, it was 18 months.
Yep.
So they went for quite a period, and that gives him the right to, or the power to search, to stop and search.
Correct.
Which your normal LEAP officers don't have. So LEAP officers need to go either with a Metro Police officer or with police in order to search people.
No, that's also inaccurate. LEAP officers are fully qualified.
So they can stop and search you?
They do all the time. They are incredibly successful. They get guns off the street by more than one a day, about 400 a year. That's just LEAP, not the rest of Metro Police. And that they are doing mainly, probably 80% of that is through stop and search.
But your relationship, so I had a few months ago, I had Brigadier Hutzenberg.
I saw that,
And he spoke very highly of the city and your relationship. Is there a relationship between you? Because like you mentioned now, look, we are tired of listening to it's a national problem. We want a local government that people voted in to do things for us. Is that relationship there to sort of take the gangsters on?
I really appreciated his interview. I did watch it, and I think that there is a really good relationship at the ground level, at the station level. And if you get other station commanders on the show, they will tell you that they rely, in those gang hotspots, they rely on LEAP. Because unfortunately you have many situations where they've, I'm talking about SAPs now, have only got one functional vehicle or two maybe functional vehicles. They're short-staffed. They've got lots of vacancies. So they actually come to rely on those LEAP officers. And this is something that I want us to talk about, please. We've got to talk about the withdrawal of SAP's resources. Because, I'm really worried that as much as we are pouring more water into the glass, so they are just taking out of the glass. So you don't actually get an overall increase. That is actually what's happening. So I am worried about that. But yes, at a station level, we have a very good operational relationship in those hotspot deployment areas. It's actually previously, let me say, with previous ministers and commissioners, we've had a problem at the leadership level around our requests for additional powers. And we just think that's frankly just the most sensible thing. It's just a no-brainer because it's what's going to get the best outcome for the public. But that's also changing, by the way, with the new minister. We're seeing a much warmer response, even at that leadership level. Okay.
Devolution, I saw you writing about it or spoke about it. Do you think it's a good thing? Because many people criticizing it.
Well, I don't. I'd love to know what the criticisms are because the current outcomes are extremely poor. SAPS is not able to turn the tide on crime in South Africa. Violent crime is going up, not down. And we are saying if you look at the stats, let's look at a data-led approach. The largest number of reasons why people get let out of the court system is because of investigations that go wrong. Now, it's very hard to blame SAPS detectives, and I know that there will be detectives watching this, and I want to say thank you to those detectives. I know that they are incredibly hardworking detectives. And if you visit your average detective, the desk will look like this with piles. You won't even see him looking over the piles because it's so over, a huge number of cases that they have to 300, 400 cases. So it's no surprise that when it gets to court and this person on the other side, this accused person has got good, great lawyers, they keep getting let out. Now, if we can just address that with better and more resources for investigations, if we have the power to investigate, imagine the improvement in outcomes that we would get by actually putting bad people away and not just seeing this rotating door where they go in one side and straight back out onto the street on the other side. So that's why I think it's a undeniably good thing that we should have those powers, and I can't imagine why anyone would criticize that.
I think, can it be that people are politicizing this thing? Because
I think so.
At the end of the day, Mayor, like here's somebody saying, and I think this is a genuine question. Abdullah Simmons says, yeah, Mr. Mayor, when change is coming to IDFL, we need to upgrade on the sports facilities. And then here, Jeanette Peterson, Mr. Mayor, can you please stop the crime in the Cape Flats? Our youth is being murdered for no reason.
Well, Jeanette, that's the perfect reason why we cannot simply say, dis is ons probleem. You must go and ask SAPS. Well, we can't do that. We have to do what we can. And of course, we can't match the SAPS budget. We can't match the SAPS resources. SAPS has got, it's supposed to have about 13,000 people in the city. It doesn't have that. So that is why we are pouring resources for exactly Jeanette's question, and doing what we can, and why we need those additional powers. It's not a political thing. It's about getting better public outcomes. Do you want, I mean, this is the shocking statistic. Do you want, at the moment, 95% of people who we catch with illegal firearms, they go free? Does anyone think that is acceptable?
No.
95%. Only 5% of the people that we catch. Remember what happens. Let's just go through this. I catch a person. I've got the person. There's the firearm. I take the person and the firearm and I give it to SAPS. I say, there. Here's the statement as well from the arresting officer. There. That is a silver platter. 95 out of 100 of those go free.
And the sad thing is that those guns go back onto the street.
Well, that's our suspicion. We don't know that for sure. But we've now asked, I've actually asked the provincial commissioner, I want to see those guns with my own eyes. I want to see those guns and make sure that we can inspect what happens when we hand over that firearm. It's supposed to get put in an evidence safe. And I want to go check, is it properly looked after? Is it still in that safe until the end of that trial, at which point it's supposed to be destroyed? We'd like to see that ourselves.
I think, Maya, the gun law itself, the gun law itself is very much harsh when it comes to the citizens. But the same gun law doesn't apply to the gangster, because he gets away with it, or she gets away with it. But my question to you is, isn't there something that we can bring into the bylaw that protects people? Because if you are caught with an illegal firearm, you should get immediately 5-year sentence. That way, it will also stop people from carrying illegal firearms. I mean, the Cape Flats is flooded with guns, and we have a big issue. The guns that's coming out now, Mayor, it's not only guns that is new guns. The old guns are still there. The guns that was being brought in a particular era before. So we have an issue with, I mean, 30 guns it was found 2 months ago coming in from Johannesburg, Limpopo. So the question is, can't we look at the bylaw? AK-47, and it comes over the border. So isn't there a bylaw the city can maybe implement?
So bylaws are in our constitution. Bylaws are a form of law. You're right. That's why it's called a bylaw. But it is aimed at things that the city has constitutional responsibility for. So it's traffic enforcement, it's building enforcement, it's noise enforcement, it's environment, pollution, so on. So we can't pass bylaws around firearm crimes. That is dealt with in the
International.
in the criminal legislation nationally. But what we can do, again, Stan, to bring it back to this critical point, if we could just say, those 400 guns that we are taking off the street every year, more than one a day, if we can make sure that those 400 are properly investigated and lead to a conviction, what a difference that would make in the lives of Jeanette and others who live in Cape Town, who live daily with the reality of gun violence. Imagine we could just get that right. Improve that conviction ratio from 5%, 95 free to 95 going away. That would make a meaningful difference, and that is, and it can literally be done with. It's not some long amendment process to the law or even to the constitution. None of that. It's the signature of the minister on a set of regulations that allows our officers to investigate our arrests. That's it.
So it doesn't even have to go to the president.
No.
So the devolving of the powers then can be done by the minister.
By the minister. And he's, again, to give credit to him, has been very warm about this. But I still want to see the signature. I want to see the signature. Then we can get going. Like the previous minister, one of the things that we asked for, which I think will be interesting to your viewers, we asked for also immigration powers. And we got it. We got it. As of about 8 weeks ago, we have got the power to enforce immigration laws. Now, that's something we've never had before. That didn't require, you didn't see any law, you didn't see any constitutional change. That was a signature. He must just do the same thing with firearm and gang and drug crimes.
And you think that looks like it's going to happen?
I do think so, because again, it's not about. I want to try and actually keep this out of politics, and it's about getting. It's about doing what works. What is currently happening does not work. There can be no debate about that. The stats are there for everyone to see. It does not work, so we must change and try something else. And this I think is a good proposal.
Because that's the thing, Maya, is like, last week somebody was killed. I mean, every week we have somebody killed. And it's, most of the time it's illegal guns. It's guns that was given to the gangsters or given to like people. And I think that is what people are afraid of. People feel just hopeless, Maya. I'll be very honest with you. People feel that nothing is happening, and that actually puts people in a depressed mode, because people feel nothing is coming right. And I'm living on the Cape Flats. I still live on the Cape Flats up till this day, even though people say I'm getting funding by the DA, which I know I'm not getting funding. But I mean, in the day, Maya, I know what it is like to live on the Cape Flats, and therefore I have only I only hear the people that is dying, their cries, Maya. And I think we should it should become a collective move. I feel sometimes so upset with politicians fighting one another, where we can fix things. We don't have to fight. You can fight in Parliament, you can fight wherever, but I think for now
we want to fix it.
We need to find ways to fix it.
And I go back to our motto that we must do what we can with what we have where we are. We can't do everything. We don't have the resources of SAPS. We don't have the budgets for tens of thousands of officers, but we can do something. And what we can do, we are doing. 800 new officers this year alone, 1,200 officers over the last 4 years. Pushing for these additional powers, getting some of these additional powers, like in the case of immigration. So I think that we are getting there. And also, I must mention our huge investments in technology. I know that this is, for some reason, again, some people choose to criticize and nitpick about these investments, but they are making a meaningful difference in Cape Town. This is now, without question, the most technologically advanced law enforcement agency in South Africa. We might still be many years behind some law enforcement agencies in other countries, but in South Africa, where you've still got people having to use their personal cell phones to phone each other saying, oh, you need to deploy there. It's only Cape Town that has got centralized dispatch, where we know exactly where our officers are, what they are doing at any time of the day or night, where we can direct them to where the crisis is, to where the calls are coming from. It's only in Cape Town where we can tell within 3 seconds of a gunshot. Not everywhere, we'd love to roll it out everywhere, but in those areas where we've deployed ShotSpotter, we can tell within 3 seconds exactly to the pinpoint where that has come from, and we can respond appropriately. So instead, previously we would have to wait for someone to phone and say, oh, I've just heard a gunshot. I'm not exactly sure where it was because it echoes down the street. It sounded like it was on the right of my house, but I can't be sure. Oh, it was actually 2 minutes ago. I just was able to call now. By that time, it's all too late. Now we can respond instantly. That is because of the investments that we are making, and I think over time this will start to make a difference. So I know that people live with the reality of violent crime way too much in our society, in Cape Town, across South Africa. But I also think that we will never ever give up on this. We will keep fighting. We will keep pushing for more powers. We'll keep pushing for better public outcomes. We will not relent.
Mayor, the one thing that I also think that maybe we should focus on, and you said you are building recreational facilities,
Yes.
which is a good thing. I think on the Cape Flats we need more of those, because at the end of the day, Mayor, the Cape Flats comes with a lot of baggage, and we have to be honest. It comes with what apartheid has left behind. That is the what apartheid has bred. Was the Cape Flats, and I mean we still have a lack of schools, and I know that's not your department, but
we're helping. We're trying to help.
But I mean, you've mentioned on the radio a couple of weeks back you are building more schools in the Western Cape. Just tell us more about that.
So again, the city does not have a school building mandate, but I said, we have to try and do something. What can we do? And the Western Cape government, MEC Mania, you should get him on the show to talk about this. Okay. He's very passionate about this. He said it's taking too long to get approval to build new schools in Cape Town. Like everything that it used to take, we're trying to simplify this. It takes too long to get permission to build. So they couldn't build fast enough. So we said, well, we are going to, we might not be responsible for building schools, for employing teachers, so on, but we can help. We're going to make it easier to sign off the building of new schools. And so we took one of our most senior planners in the city, and he does nothing else. Nothing else, no other work other than signing off new school buildings. And they are flying through the system now, to the point where we're getting 55. Because of that investment, the Western Cape government can now say, right, now we can invest in Cape Town. So 55 new schools over the next 5 years, and 30 in the next 3 years.
Okay.
So they're flying now. They are absolutely flying. And that's partly because of the help that we are doing in terms of signing them off much quicker. But it'll be good to chat to my colleague David Mania about that, because he's very passionate about improving access in Cape Town.
And I think, Maya, that is one of the big problems, even with businesses as well. I think maybe you can give us who to speak to, is the delay of plans. So I've got quite a few business owners that message me to ask you. Some of them are waiting for 2-3 years, to get their plans signed off or to get it approved. Is there currently a backlog?
There is at the moment, because of the huge amount of building happening in Cape Town. Anyone that drives around can see that Cape Town is going through a construction boom right now. There's cranes everywhere, there's construction sites everywhere. That's a good thing for our economy, but it also means that we are getting thousands of applications every month. Last time I checked, it was about 2,500 applications a month that we were getting for building plans. So that does mean that there's pressure on the system. But recently we just, as I said, with the schools example, we published a simplification of the system. We want to try and make it faster in the city to get those plans approved, get them through the system, deal with the objections, make the amendments if there are any necessary, and get it approved so that businesses can go, so that construction sites can go and employ people. Remember, all of this is focused on getting people into work, which we're very glad for the construction boom. We want it to go faster, actually.
And I think that's the thing, Maya, is that creating jobs should be also one of the things, because
it is the thing. It is the thing. It is the most important thing in our government. Everything we do is focused on growing our economy to get more people into work.
Maya, I've got two questions that I just want to ask you. I see we are moving. There's a question from Fran Lynn Reed. Mr. Mayor, why can't we as citizens access surplus properties when there are thousands of abandoned properties available in the Western Cape under public works? It's costing taxpayers billions when it can be put to good use, provide housing, students accommodation, small business accommodations, etc. That is from Fran Lynn.
So, Fran Lynn, we don't have thousands of abandoned city properties. That's if there's any vacant or underutilized city properties, we want to use them immediately. And I try to get the message through the system You do not allow properties to stand. You're right that there are lots of properties owned by the Department of Public Works, and I would say weekly or monthly putting pressure on my colleagues in the Government of National Unity to release those properties.
Yeah.
We want them. We can do useful things with them. We can do homeless shelters. We can do housing. Some of them are good for industrial and business parks, whatever.
Yeah.
So we are very, very keen to take over as many of those properties as we can. I'll just keep putting that pressure on and hopefully get as many of them as we can.
Yasin Staghi also mentioned something here. A city no longer belongs to Cape Townians under the neoliberal system. We are outnumbered by illegal foreigners. What is the plan of action?
No, Yasin, that is just not true. We do not. Our view is not to allow completely free illegal immigration into South Africa. No country could ever survive on that basis. You must come to South Africa legally. We also are not going to engage in xenophobia where we hate people based on where they come from.
Yeah.
That's never going to be our policy in Cape Town, where we demonstrate prejudice or bias against people because of where they come from. That's not going to be us. But we also at the same time say, you must be in our country legally. You cannot be here illegally. We have a rule of law.
Yeah.
And in fact, the DA is the party of the rule of law. We're trying everything, whether it be in the interventions we're making in crime, be the interventions we're making with taxi drivers in Cape Town, to reassert and reaffirm the rule of law. So that's why I said earlier we were begging for immigration powers. Remember, I mentioned that.
Yes.
Because we've never been able to enforce that previously. Now, actually, one of the new powers that we have, as of about 6 or 8 weeks ago, is immigration powers. And you will start to see immediately, just over the last few weeks, the number of immigration raids that we are doing, the number of joint raids that we are doing with our colleagues in Home Affairs has escalated probably 10 times in the last 6 weeks. So I'm afraid that's like a kind of political slogan that he's repeating, but it isn't true.
But like you've mentioned now, so with the immigration thing, there's a lot of illegal foreigners here that doesn't belong here. And I think that is what it puts stress on our justice system, it puts stress on our health system. And I think also with the employment, because these people charge less money to work. And I think, not that we don't want to give it to them, but I think
you must come legally.
In a state like this
Simple.
now, but we also need our own people to have jobs. I mean, so we can expect to see a lot of these illegal guys, foreigners, leaving Cape Town soon.
Well, I mean, it's a long way to go before we have a proper border control system in our country. The fact is that South Africa basically does not have a border control system. It is so easy that terrible accident that happened last week with the bus was it in the Free State, I think, where that whole bus was full of illegal immigrants coming to Cape Town. Now so it will take a long time to reassert that rule of law and that discipline, but certainly things are definitely improving with these new powers that we've asked for. I just want to give you as a practical example. If we we find an illegal immigrant, we previously could not arrest that person. We had to wait for a Home Affairs official. That must then go to the police station. At the police station, there has to be a Home Affairs official to process that person. So you go at, let's say, at midnight, and the police officer says, well, it's midnight. There's no Home Affairs official here, and I'm not keeping this guy until tomorrow. He's out, and straight back. So the system breaks down in the practical elements like that. So hopefully we can now start to fix that, and reassert that rule of law.
Then Trevin Jacobs asked here, and I think I can actually answer, but I'm going to allow you to answer. Does foreigners pay tax? Please ask them here.
Well, they do in one sense. If they have a job in the formal economy, of course they pay tax. They pay VAT when they buy stuff in shops and wherever they go shopping. But in another sense, there's a very huge informal economy which is outside of the formal tax system. And there's probably a huge amount of tax that is not paid in the informal economy.
There's more questions coming through on our YouTube channel. Talib Solomons, can we please have soccer in Sevigal community centers, especially after school for kids? Please.
Sorry, in where?
Please. in Civic Halls Community Centre. So it's
Civic
probably
Halls, right.
on the Cape Flats now, obviously, especially after school for kids. Please, if you ask the mayor that question, I think mayor, we want to keep our kids occupied.
Yep.
Living on the Cape Flats, there's like you said earlier, there's little things happening. There's little bit of excitement. Having the pool open, that's something big for our kids.
Absolutely.
Having a soccer field, a soccer turf. So maybe we should look at turning, for now, civic centres into recreational facilities for after school. Even if we can come and give them maths classes, because we have another issue, and maybe I should mention it to you, where our children are struggling with their schoolwork, and maybe we can use these facilities to get people to volunteer their time to come and help our kids.
But anyone can book our facilities. Our facilities are there for the community to use. If you want to book our facility to run a maths class, go and book it. You can even write your counsellor to book it for free. But even the booking fee is a very small fee, and then you can use it for. It's there for the community, and we have got lots and lots of community halls which are actually underutilized. In some communities, must be said, they are fully booked. They are used for weddings, for after-school programs, for ladies who do Pilates or exercise. I joined an exercise group in Manenberg in the community hall.
Nice.
So in some communities they're fully booked, but in many cases you will find slots, and you must please book them. In terms of the soccer facilities, this is what we are rolling out, and there's some beautiful facilities that we've rolled out. Again, if I refer to just some of the ones that I've personally been to in the last couple of months, in Mandela Park, in Khayelitsha, in Bishop Lavis, in Manenberg, the Greens. I don't know if you've been there to see that place, but
I was actually a couple of weeks back.
Isn't it amazing?
Yes,
it's just
no,
absolutely beautiful. And others around the city that are being upgraded, or brand new ones, and most of those also include those small soccer fields, the five-a-side fields, for people to use.
Maya, then the question that I want to ask you, and there's a last question, but I will do on the end. The question that I want to ask you: how do we, community and politicians, take hands and we say we're going to fix this thing together? Because there's no I in team. I think that's the thing. We need leadership that can take, like you've mentioned, many people don't know that they can book a civic centre. It's small things like that where people need to be educated, and we need to interact more, because we're all are stakeholders. The politicians, the people living in the communities. How are we going to take hands and fix things together? Because the city can't do things on their own. We can't do things on our own.
Correct.
It's gonna, even as national government, we have to come together as the GNU and fix things collectively. Do you have a plan as such in place?
We love supporting active citizens. I really deeply believe in what you've just said. We will not fix South Africa with only government fixing it. And very often, for every problem that comes up on a day-to-day basis, the first response is, what is government doing? And we've got to get to a place where we say, what are we as a society doing about this? And one of the things is things like something simple, like your neighborhood watch. We are so, I can't give enough praise to all the neighborhood watch members and volunteers, patrollers who are watching this, and who go out late at night to help keep the community safe. They, we try and help them with equipment. We try and help them with uniforms and training and so on. They do an amazing job, and I can't give them enough praise. But there's other organizations, your local ratepayers, your local church or mosque group that is helping in the community, answering a specific need. Your local cleanup team. You know how many schools and kids are doing cleanups in the area. And the city's always keen to help and support active citizens. So if you need stuff, if you need gloves or bags or stuff to do a cleanup, if you need a neighborhood watch equipment, call on us. That's where we love to partner with active citizens, but we will not do it alone. It must be
it has to
taking
be a
hands.
collective thing, Maya. The other questions, Maya, that I got from actually CPF members earlier on, that I need to bring it to attention. Baden Powell, it's a very dangerous road. Is there any plans in place for lights and for cameras? Because I think that's one of the worst roads to travel in at night, and some people are afraid to actually travel on that road after 8 o'clock.
I will have to check around lights and cameras. I know that we have a large, budget for rolling out more cameras in the city. I think if I remember the figure correctly, about 50 million that we're spending on new camera rollout. So I'll check if any of those are going to Baden-Powell, and I can let you know. I can give you feedback about that.
Okay, perfect, man. I just want to see some of the questions. There's a lot coming through, and I want to be fair to our users, to our viewers tonight.
No, keep them coming.
Sadiq Dawood, what is the laws on foreigners buying and owning properties in the city? And I think where he want to mention is also especially on can a foreigner from, let's say, from overseas come and buy a heritage site?
Yes.
Can they?
Yes.
So if there's a heritage site, like say Newzenburg, and it's available up for auction, they can buy it?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, so there's no law.
There's no restriction on property ownership in South Africa, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Maya, this is the one question. Do you think that we should maybe have more programs like you have the BE program, which didn't work out? But I think in the city, I think we need to give back also to those that property were previously taken from them. Like we lived in Constantia, my mother, my grandmother, and I think we should be awarded some type of value back, because we lost our property and we had to start over. Not that I want to blame anybody, but I think this is the question where many people of the Cape Flats want to know: how can we benefit from those properties that's out there? Because we were once victims of land expropriation without compensation.
Well, the city is currently busy funding by far probably the most generous and expensive land restitution project in South Africa. I'm not aware of any bigger project that's happening in Bishop's Court, where we are returning the Protea Village residents to that site in Bishop's Court, the old stone cottages at Kirstenbosch. And this is what I love about the kind of the messaging that you always hear about Cape Town. I just always ask those guys, can you name a single other place in South Africa where that level of land restitution is currently being funded by a city?
Yeah.
Nowhere else. It's only happening here. And even on a smaller scale, what we are doing to give properties where people have been tenants for decades, we want to give them ownership of that property. Thousands of people, families. I love attending those. They're very moving. Yeah. They've been a tenant of the council for decades, faithfully paying their rent year after year or month after month. And we say, right, we cover all the costs. We cover the deeds office fees, the lawyer's fees. We make you the owner of this property. And if you are living, let me just say, if you are watching this and you're living in a freestanding council home, if you're living in a maisonette, you're living in a duplex council home, please be in touch with us. We would love to make you the owner, because that is a form of land restitution as well. As for other land claims, remember that the national government had a formal land claims process, and that was reopened under the Zuma government to allow more people to apply, and there was a deadline for that and it closed. So if people did not get their land claims in, the current land restitution department is working through those claims that were closed under the Zuma government, and so there's still those claims to work through, and that is how this claim in Bishop's Court came about, which the city is now funding, and that will be a very, very special moment when we can move those residents back to Protea Village.
The other question, Maya, that I want to ask you, let me just check quickly here. Bringing them back, right? Giving people property back, like on the Cape Flats, like the people that has been renting there. Must they have lived in the property for a certain time? Because I know of a young lady. So what happens?
No, they don't need to.
Okay.
Let me just make it easy for you. As long as they are legally in the property, they haven't illegally occupied the property. They are legally in the property, and they are, they're in good standing with the city. They can be the owner of that property, and we will cover all the costs for that.
I just have a message now. So this young lady, she is, they've been living in the flats for more than 20 years. My grandmother passed away. So this is the scenario of many people. Maybe you can just rectify me.
Yeah.
For 20 years now, my grandmother passed away, and so they used to pay every month 300 rand.
Yeah.
To the grandmother. So when the grandmother passed away last year, she was told she can get the flat, but now that 300 rand went up to 3,900 rand. So now she's paying 3,900 because somebody told her that she can afford that. But according to her, it doesn't. She doesn't afford. She can't afford it. So they haven't done an affordability test. They just gave her like an amount. Is that something that we can look into? Because there's many such situations.
Details, yeah.
You know.
No problem. I can take the details very easily and look into that tomorrow.
Yeah. And then the other question, as we almost come to a closer, we can't fix Cape Town in 45 minutes. But I want to ask you the question: what can we expect? I mean, before you became mayor, I interviewed you. You were Geordin Hill-Lewis.
Yes.
You said something, and people can go back. I keep all the videos. It's on our YouTube. You said that you are going to work on the Cape Flats.
Yes.
Because many people criticized you. You still remember there's 2 guys that passed away. Even since then it was what's his name, Byron. He asked you the question, and another gentleman, you should know him, Morris Saman. And they said, Mayor, you must do more for the Cape Flats. So looking at your schedule every day, I mean, many people will criticize you, but that was a promise that you made on this platform, that you're going to work on the Cape Flats. What can we expect in the next term? Because you're going into a next term next year, the next 5 years.
It's very presumptuous of you. I still a small matter of an election that I have to win. So, assuming that I am blessed enough to earn the confidence of Cape Townians again, and of course I hope that I do, then I will carry on exactly the work that I've been driving on the Cape Flats this last few years. The Cape Flats is currently home to the largest sewer upgrade in the whole of South Africa. The largest sewer upgrade in the whole of South Africa is not happening in the suburbs, it's not happening in the townships, it's happening on the Cape Flats. The largest public transport project in South Africa is currently happening on the Cape Flats. All of the wastewater upgrades, all of the energy upgrades to make our city energy secure, all of this stuff is benefiting the people of the Cape. All the jobs that are being created, we're bringing call centres to Mitchell's Plain, we're creating thousands of jobs, the construction boom, you name it. So I'm loving the opportunity to see those commitments. It's amazing how time has flown. 4 years ago now, Stan, come to fruition and benefit the people of the Cape Flats so deliberately. And I love the variety in my job means that I get to go from every single corner to every other corner of the city, and love spending time in communities where I can fix service delivery problems. Lots of people. One last example, lots of people have written to me about the roads in Bishop Lewis, and in a couple of weeks, if they didn't start today, they're probably starting next week, we will have a huge roads project in Bishop Lewis. So I love seeing a problem, designing a solution, allocating budget, and seeing the solution implemented. That's what gives me great energy, and I want to continue doing that.
And I think we need to be proactive, Mayor, if it comes to our work to be a solution-driven person. Also, I'm just checking the comments coming through. There is some more coming through. Do you know about Gurut, the pipe burst and that?
I do, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is because of our old infrastructure.
Old, yeah.
100 years old. And
Correct.
I think one of the things that people are struggling with is sometimes they are without water for days or a day or two.
Yeah.
So you are looking at it.
Oh, we have quadrupled 4 times our pipe replacement budget. We used to replace 25 kilometers a year 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Now we do 100 kilometers. In fact, this year we did 107 kilometers of budget. So 4 times, 4x. We have replaced our pipe replacement budget. Precisely this, to bring the number of bursts down and deal with that aging infrastructure. So yes, we've answered that emphatically. That's hundreds and hundreds of millions of rands that we're putting into pipe replacements. And just to put that into perspective, by the way, that 100 kilometers is more than most of the other cities, in the major cities, the metros combined. That's what we're replacing in Cape Town each year. So again, spot a problem, design a solution, allocate the budget, hit the problem. That's what I love doing. It's satisfying to see the progress.
Then there's from Angus Noki. Please ask the mayor why is he allowing the mistreatment of indigents in Mitchell's Plain. I sent his office indigents email a week ago and asked them to take action. I think just on that question also, Mayor, someone have asked me to also mention to you with the indigent plan or program, people don't know really when it starts and when it finishes. And I think maybe that's something you should maybe look at, because when our elders, they wipe out their eyes, then it is finished, and then they're again back in the same situation. So they don't know when it expires. I think
every 3 years.
Some
So
people
again,
think,
again, this is different to the rest of South Africa. Here
Yeah.
we have it every 3 years. In most other cities, you have to apply every year. So we make it easier for our pensioners and our indigent residents to stay on the system for longer. We can't do longer than 3 years because the Auditor General found that we were, there were some essentially deceased people that were sort of receiving the benefit because they had deceased in the last 3 years. So we have to check every 3 years, but that is in most cases, I think, the longest time in the country where we allow people to apply. The biggest issue that I receive is that people go to our walk-in centres and they get asked for a whole lot of documents. Maybe that is what Angus is talking about.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
To make it more.
So I've sent out the message in our system that we've got to simplify the number of documents that are required and make it easier for the elderly to provide all those documents. So you don't want to send them back, come back tomorrow with more documents and so on. We want one visit, bring your documents, done, and then you get onto the system. The other thing that I often find is that people don't know that they qualify. So I just want to repeat the basic qualifications. Especially if you're over 60, let's just deal with that one. If you're over 60 in Cape Town, please, you earn less than 27,000 Rand a month, you qualify for our pensioners rebate. Please go to our walk-in centre. You can check the list of documents that you need to bring online. You can get the list there if you need to, and you can qualify for our pensioner rebate. Over 60, under 27,000 Rand a month. And again, by the way, that is the highest number, or the highest income qualification in South Africa. So we're trying to look after as many of our pensioners as possible.
I've got two last more questions, but this one I must ask you from Clint Krauster. Clint Krauster is a innovative guy. He creates a lot of jobs on the Cape Flats Mayor. You must check him out. Ask Oscar. He bought now another company, Rosen. I actually know him. This is a boy that was a problem boy. And so I'm proud of him. So I want to ask you the one question. Good evening, Mr. Mayor. What do you think about having a fortnightly or monthly televised meeting similar to Ramaphosa's COVID update to either update the public of Cape Town around key topics or educate the public on everything government? It is viable. Is it viable? Is it effective? I think basically education on what's happening and how people can get out. I think, Mayor, one of the things that I need to also tap in here, people find it very difficult to understand processes.
Yes,
I think we need to make it much more easier for them.
Clint, thank you for that. So I do public meetings a couple of times a week, Stan. But it's let me say it's fairly old school analog public meetings. So I think actually the much more effective public meeting is the one we're doing right now, because here we've got many more thousands of people watching and sending you questions, and then I can. So we've got to find a way to do a digital version which allows many more people from across the city to participate. And I'm super happy to do that. As I say, I do public meetings literally a couple of times a week, and all over the city. But those are only, generally you'll find that there's a few hundred people there, maybe 200 or 300 people, and often when if I go to a community, a few months later I come back and it's the same 200 people, the same 300 people that come to the public meeting. Whereas we want to spread the net wide as we do with the digital platform. So Clint, well done for your businesses. Thank you for creating jobs. Let's be in touch about how we can do a digital public meeting. Very keen to do that.
Maya, and then the last question. I always throw a curveball. Unfortunately, I'm known for that.
Yeah.
But this is a very important question to all of us. Alan Zeller said there is no genocide in Gaza. I would like to hear from you. What is your take on that?
Let me just say, Stan, that my job is to be the mayor of Cape Town. It is not my job to divide Cape Townians against one another. That is an incredibly divisive issue. I'm focused on fixing the issues here in our city and doing that to the best of my ability as well as I can. That matter is currently before the International Court. We are a party of the rule of law. And if the court decides that is what that is, we will absolutely abide by that. But there are some incredibly learned judges considering that question, and I will happily accept what their decision is.
Maya, thank you so much for your time. We have also come to an end now. But I want to encourage you, there's a lot of questions coming in. Maybe you should think about having a once a month podcast so they can ask
Happy
you
to do
the
that.
questions. Unfortunately, we've asked a few questions and we're almost done. So thank you so much, and
Such a pleasure.
all the best, and we hope to see you back and in a chair next year again.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I
Goodbye.
appreciate that. Thank you.
And gentlemen, that is the mayor. I just want to do something quickly. So, Mayor, you know that we are all about creating jobs on the Cape Flats. So we have two things. There's a young man that he made sure that he came to my house, actually to my house, to my friend's house, to Cashwell's house. He was a very popular singer back in the day, and because he found out that he had autism, it became worse, and he couldn't sing anymore.
Mm.
And he's an artist, so he draws and he does things with his hands to make a living. And he came to me, and this is what he brought to me for you.
Oh, that's
That is
beautiful.
for you.
Oh,
And
man.
if you want to show them,
That is the City of Cape Town waste truck going
That's
about
what-
its work. I love that. That's
So-
beautiful. What's the young man's name?
Shelton Swartz.
Shelton. Thank you, Shelton. I really appreciate that. That's beautiful. And you'll see it up in my office.
And this is from Genesis Style Clothing. Genesis Style Clothing. So this is all people from the Cape Flats.
Yes.
Genesis Style Clothing. This T-shirt was manufactured
Hey.
on the Cape Flats. The material,
Beautiful.
everything in here, the lining, everything was made on the Cape Flats. And the nice thing about this, even the Gatsby was made on the Cape Flats. It took about 40 people to manufacture this whole
Wow, look
T-shirt.
at that.
And that is job creation, Maya.
It's a proper
So
value
we want to
chain,
show
yeah.
you this and also give it to you.
Thank you.
And that is how we...
Can I try it on?
Yeah, and that is how we actually build our communities. Instead of making,
So
you
it's
know...
Cape Flat Stories on the back.
Mm.
Awesome Penny Poloni Gatsby on the front. You can see that I've had too many of those.
Yeah. No, you need to take it easy now. So that is from the Cape Flats, and there's many more companies on the Cape Flats, small businesses, that is doing this.
I think you got my size right.
Is that perfect?
Spot on.
Yeah. That was from David at Genesis Style Clothing.
Thank you very much,
So-
David. I appreciate that, man.
If you
I
support,
love it.
If you
And
support
if you
Genesis
see me
Style,
at... David, tell me, where's your favorite supplier of Penny Poloni Gatsby's?
there's only
where's-
one place for now.
Where?
It's Sweet Treat Corner. It's in the retreat.
Okay, I haven't had it yet. But I will make a plan to get there and try Sweet Retreat.
Sweet Treat Corner.
Sweet Treat. Sweet Treat.
In,
Okay.
in retreat.
In retreat,
In
right.
retreat.
Look forward to it. Thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
David, and
Yeah.
thank you,
That's
Stan.
from the people, Maya.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
so much, everybody. I couldn't answer all your questions. I saw some of the comments, but unfortunately, we only have an hour, and that hour is done almost. So, yeah. Any other questions, email it to the mayor, send it to me. I will forward it via email. And very important that we try and be constructive and that we try and fix things ourselves as well. Be proactive as well as citizens. Good evenings and God bless. Cheers.
God bless.
Preview.